Welcome everybody to the Flopbuster Movie Show live with Tony and Gabe. We got some great stuff to talk about today. Some box office breakdown, our predictions for Halloween Ends, which is tomorrow, and that M3GAN trailer. What the hell is that? It's all here. We're going to talk about it, and stay tuned for more. Not really, but just you should stick around and watch the whole thing. All right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Flopbuster Movie Show. Gabe, how you doing here today, man?
Good. How you doing today?
Good. It's an early episode. We usually record on Thursdays, but tomorrow we know many folks are going to be out seeing Halloween. And me and Victoria will be out of town as well. So you figured, why not do a Wednesday show? And that's what we're doing. We're doing a Wednesday night episode, which I guess you could say yesterday was a little different, and so was today. Yesterday we did just a hangout, and I think everybody should watch that because it was a lot of fun. I think we got to relive some childhood memories, talk about some favorites, some cartoons, things like that. Uh, and then today we have the news, which we have more than I expected to have, which is a good thing. We got a
Always
lot
a
to
good
talk
thing.
about. And without further ado, let's start off with the box office breakdown. And at number one, we have Smile. This is like really good for a horror movie, but just a regular movie in general. I mean, 18.5 million. This movie only fell 20%. It's unheard of. Doesn't really happen. And then we had Lyle Lyle Crocodile at number two. We had Amsterdam at three. At number four, we had The Woman King. And rounding out the top five is Don't Worry, Darling. So, Gabe, what sticks out to you from this list, man?
Well, Smile's holdover numbers are amazing.
Yes.
Again, it's 2022 is going to go down as the year of horror. Lots of great horror movies have come out. A lot of original stuff has come out for 2022. So definitely glad to see that one still hold up. It was a great movie.
Yeah, I think Smile was really good. I mean, the biggest loser of the weekend is definitely,
Amsterdam.
it's Amsterdam. I mean, the movie cost 85 million to make, gross 6 million. They're looking at $100 million loss. So nobody in that team in that camp can be happy right now. It is not up for any awards, I don't think.
Yeah,
As much as they tried and they really are going to go for that Oscar push, I don't know many that like it other than you. You enjoyed it. You said you had a
I
fun
enjoyed
time
it.
with it. Um, but
You know
it's a
what?
big
So
loss.
I didn't see none of the actors hitting up like the talk show circuits or like hot ones like we had mentioned yesterday. Like I didn't none of them. Like I didn't see them hit up those circuits.
Yeah, this isn't it's weird, right? Because The Fighter came out and David O. Russell hadn't made a movie in a long time. The Fighter shoots onto the scene and it's a box office hit. It's Oscar darling and people love it. American Hustle, it's the same thing. It didn't really win any, but people liked that movie, and it was successful. It made like $300 million.
Yeah,
Joy was not a hit. Silver Linings Playbook was a hit. Silver Linings Playbook is a great movie, and it also was a box office smash for the amount of money they made it for. So with this coming out, I mean, I think right now we're seeing the downward sort of trend when it comes to David O. Russell movies. Who knows what it is? If it's audience interest or these kind of movies just don't play like they used to. Who knows? I think having that Oscar push helps a lot,
right.
and the
Which is
rollout is
funny
different.
though.
The
It's
rollout
funny. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go
go
ahead.
go. No, I was about to say the rollout used to be that you start off limited, then you expand, then you expand, then you expand. They don't do that as often with these movies now. The only ones I could think of that have done it successfully have been like Everything Everywhere All at Once, which started off small and kept expanding until it made 100 and something million dollars. A lot of these movies that I named, like The Fighter, American Hustle, Silver Linings Playbook, they started off small and they expanded. Amsterdam did not do that. Audiences, I think, just didn't really care to go out and see it.
Right.
Besides the amazing cast. Go ahead, Gabe. Sorry.
No, what I was just gonna say is that it was funny because usually these movies don't sit well with me. I'm not really a big fan of who done it murder mysteries. Not usually set too much into like timepieces. But for some reason, this all resonated with me. So, and I
I gotta
liked
see
it.
it. I still got to see it. I'm gonna check it out. I still like. I mean, this is a huge cast. So like I'm still intrigued to see it. This has been a stacked weekend. So that's mainly the big reason I did not go out to see it this past weekend was I saw so many different things and I was just tired from going to the movies. But I'm going to get around to it. But other than that, I mean, Lao Lao Crocodile, I mean, that's did decent numbers for what it
Right.
was, and I know it's got uh, also pretty decent critical reception. The Woman King is a success. It's been sticking around. People like it. Audiences really, really dug it. So kudos to that movie. And what was the other one, man? It was Don't
Don't
Worry,
worry, darling.
Darling. I mean, say what you will about the flick. I mean, it's a hit. It made money. It made money for Warner Brothers. People are going back to see it. It's not a great movie, but it played well, and the marketing was great for that. I mean, publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity, and that movie had some great trailers mixed with some terrible publicity off the Olivia Wilde stuff. So, not a bad weekend at the box office, but I do know the one that we got coming in, which we'll talk about later on, is going to bring a lot of butts and seats. So it should be a pretty big weekend. And I want to start off with the first topic of the day. Real quick, I'll reference the chat. We got Fabian in here. We got Chad. What's up, Chad? We can't wait to have you on the show. Um, First topic, which is this is one that I know of, but I'm curious. I doubt Gabe knows much about this. This is Sydney Sweeney from Euphoria, and she's starring in a remake of Barbarella from 1968, the French comic book movie, uh, with Jane Fonda. It's a 1968 film. It's a weird little movie. I definitely recommend at some point if you have the time, check it out. It's weird, but there's some great imagery and a lot of campy lines. But Gabe, you hear this Barbarella thing. Do you know who Sydney Sweeney is? Are you like familiar with her work on Euphoria?
Yes, I know what's up with Euphoria. I've watched
Okay, I
Euphoria.
didn't know if you watch Euphoria. I don't know what to think about this, but what do you think? I mean, do you know anything about Barbarella? Did you look up anything?
What I know from Barbarella is not much actually. um,
So Barbarella is essentially this. She goes on space adventures. She's sent from the U.S. to find this scientist, and it's kind of erotic. Like she wears all these skimpy outfits, but like
yeah,
the movie's in on the joke. Like it's
right.
making a lot of sex jokes and stuff. So this can make for a kind of a fun, sort of kooky, uh, visually appealing movie. I don't think it'll ever get made. This seems like one of those movies that a star wants to make that just doesn't happen. But it's an interesting idea because I've heard
Right.
that this movie was in the works with different actors trying to make it for a very long time.
And I thought that was what Barbarella was like this, sexy, space woman. But
Yeah.
I didn't really want to say much because I don't know if I was going to be wrong on that.
No,
But yeah,
it's pretty much it. At the time, it wasn't like critically hailed or much of a big hit, but it's a campy movie.
right.
A lot of it, again, it knows the jokes, it knows what it's going for, but there's some really cool visual gags in there. And Jane Fonda is probably at her hottest in this movie. They're really banking off of that. So I'm not
Are
sure
you
where they can
saying
go with
that
this.
Jane Fonda at like 86 is not hot anymore?
I mean, I'll take 68 Jane Fonda. I mean, she looks great in Barbarella. But I wasn't around for the 86 workout tape, so I can't speak to it, man. You can. You're
I
probably
can.
around for that. You do the workout tapes. You
I
like them.
do. I had the workout tapes for sure.
Well, that's Barbarella, man. Like I don't know. I This is one of those big ones that popped up and everybody was talking about it. And Sydney
I
Sweeney's one
think
of those.
I think she would look. I think she'd be fine. I mean, Sydney is a great enough actress. I think she would do it. She would do it justice. Now, would you think that based on like 1968 standards of movies, like maybe they'll add actual like nudity to this and
Maybe
toplessness?
I think the first one was it was controversial for its time, but it's a
Tame.
like it's pretty tame. It's pretty PG. Besides the outfits that she wears and some of the jokes that are clearly skewed towards adults. It really depends where they go with this. I don't think this is a movie you pump like $100 million into. I think this is a movie that you are aware of the audience and the joke that you're going for. Maybe pump 30 million bucks into it, let her have her fun, make it a comedy, put it on a streamer. But it says it's Sony Pictures, and Sony is all in on the Sydney Sweeney train between Madam Web and this. They're really banking on her to be a name in their catalog. So
Yeah.
who knows? I know I've never read the comic book, So I'm curious if anybody else has. But the movie, I found out about it after a list of early comic book films I read. Like there's another one. I think it was Felix. No, what was the movie? Fritz the Cat, which is like an early rated X comic book film. It's animated, and I was looking at a list, and this was on there. So that's the only reason why I knew about this movie. And then I went out and watched it. But I definitely recommend it if you're into
Yeah.
campy sort of 60s movies. Here we go. This is one I'm excited for. Adam Sandler and the Safdie brothers reunite. While speaking with Vanity Fair on the Little Goldman podcast, Sandler revealed his plans to reunite with the Safdie brothers while shooting begins, and when shooting begins, after being asked how he selects his next project. Uh, Sandler said, and I quote, "I'm going to do a movie with the Safdie brothers, and we're going to start shooting in the late winter." The film's also said to be set in the world of sports as well. Gabe, what do you think about this reuniting of the Safdie brothers and Sandler in a sports movie? That's all we know so far.
Listen, I hope you could catch lightning in a bottle twice. Um, that's
It's hard.
it's hard. It's very hard. And Adam Sandler in sports movies, I mean, he doesn't have a really big successful track record in a sense where you have the longest yard. I mean, I guess he does, right? But like the longest yard was not bad, but it wasn't terrible. I mean, it wasn't good, but it wasn't bad either. The Water Boy, that was funny.
Well, hey, I think he's maybe
You know,
thinking, my last two critical hits were set in the world of basketball with Uncut Gems and Hustle. Uh, so I'm guessing that's what they're thinking with this. I really
Hustlers. You
do.
think of the Jennifer Lopez movie, Hustlers?
I know, yeah, American Hustle. But Hustle with Adam Sandler, which is a really good movie, and he's great in it.
Bo
Would
Cruz. I wish the Bulls
Oh,
had Bo
Cruz.
Cruz.
I think I go back to what you said about hitting lightning in a bottle. It's gonna be very hard. The Safdies did something really unique with Good Time, and they managed to do it on a larger scale with a bigger budget in Uncut Gems with a giant movie star delivering a one of a kind performance. Who knows if you could do that again? I don't know what kind of movie this is gonna be. I hope it's different. I do like the Safdie
Right.
brothers a ton and the flavor that they bring to their projects. I just hope this isn't Uncut Gems too. I want something unique, and I think they're gonna do that.
What I give benefit of the doubt to Adam Sandler in dramatic roles only because he is just amazing in anything that they put him anything that they put him in dramatic wise. Like my favorite still to this day is Punch Drunk Love. I love Adam Sandler in
It's
Punch
great.
Drunk Love. And so those are the type of roles that I feel like it shows his range as an actor. Not movies like Jack and Jill, but more like
Right.
Uncut Gems, Punch Drunk Love, even Spanglish. Spanglish was awesome in the sense where you still had a drama and a little bit of comedy to go along with it. But yeah, I think Adam Sandler in dramatic movies is key. It's clutch.
Yeah, I think he's chasing that Oscar still, man, and clearly they love working with each other. They knew this was going to happen. They've been teasing they're going to work with each other again. I'm excited to hear what this movie's about. I would love to see Sandler play a cop, something like an Al Pacino kind of role. Do something different. I think that would be really cool. And he is money in dramatic roles. And he could do pretty much anything. It seems like, and I think he wants to keep chasing that. What's up, man? How's it going? Bernie's back in here. Uh, but anyway, let's move on to the next one. And I skipped over this, so let's circle back. Um, so the new movie from Blumhouse is about a killer doll. Um, I saw this trailer the other day, and the internet has been talking about it nonstop. It's become a meme. It's only been 24 hours. It's become a meme. Gabe, did you see the trailer for M3GAN? And what do you think of those dance moves?
I saw the trailer. The dance moves, they were all right. Um, what I just found interesting was just like how it became a meme. The comments under the trailers, like, "Oh, I don't need to see this movie." They showed everything in the trailer. I'm like, "No, it didn't. You
It
showed
did.
a couple things. Like, calm your shit down. Calm your tits."
I take issue with that because I feel like people throw that around so easily, but no, you don't know what they show until you see the movie. You haven't seen the movie. Nobody's
Right.
seen the movie, so how do you know what they showed in the trailer? Nobody knows. but people just like to make assumptions and they assume.
I
And
I
what
I
did you think of this?
I feel like it's a female Chucky. To be honest, listen.
It looks very much like 2019 Child's Play. Very similar with the AI
Definitely
stuff.
20. I get 2019 Child's Play vibes, and that's fine. You know, to steal your words, it's fine. Uh, am I gonna see it? Of course, I'm gonna see it. I like anything that, any dolls that come alive and are either possessed by another spirits or AI is coming to get you. I'm a firm believer, and we could get into this. Whoever wants to have a conversation with me about this, is I'm a firm believer that we need to be careful of AI. Like, AI is gonna come for us. You
I
know,
don't think so. I don't think
I
so. I don't think we're there yet. All right,
oh, we're there yet.
let the people have their sex bots and the weird things they want to do with AI. All right, let them do
No,
it.
like
Don't you police people? Don't you police people?
Skynet is coming.
Sky,
These AI robots, the Matrix, are gonna harvest us for batteries type stuff. All that shit's real.
I don't think so, man. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I do think this trailer is, it's effective because it got everybody talking. I don't think it looks all that great, but I think it's effective. People want to go see this now. It's got this great moment where she's like fucking dancing. Everybody's seen it, and it's a meme.
What
But I
tripped
do
me out
think
was the running, like how she got on all fours and started running. I
that
was
was
like, ah,
creepy. There's
that
some
was
creepy
creepy.
stuff in here. It looks like it's gonna be fun. Simple January watch. But what I will say is it's genius marketing, and the director of this uh did Housebound, which I watched for the first time on Shudder this past summer, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm down to see what they're up to here. And this is also the writer of Malignant, which I should know. And Malignant is a crazy ass movie. So
Yeah.
I think we might get something equally as crazy here. So I'm down with it. I'm down with it. There's nothing really in the trailer that like super impressed me, but come on, man, those dance moves, got to be here for it. Um, Here's another one. This is Red Sonja. Matilda Lutz, who did the movie Revenge. I don't know if you saw that one, Gabe. It's really good. It's on Shudder right now. It's a disgustingly bloody movie. This is the first poster, and I've heard about this movie for quite some time. It's been in development hell for a while. They've been trying to make a spinoff for quite some time. Gabe, what do you think? Are you ready for another Red Sonja movie?
Yeah, I'm ready. I think the first one that I saw was with Sly Stallone's wife
Bridget
at the
Nielsen.
time,
Yeah,
Bridget
I've never
Nielsen.
seen it.
You
Never
never?
seen it. Never
Hey,
seen
look
it.
at that! A first, a first. Mark it
I
down. Mark.
it was enough for me with the Conan, Conan the Barbarian. Didn't need to see Bridget Nielsen attempt at acting for like the 100th time and fail. But no, I honestly I've never seen it. I don't know much about this character. I do know this is a movie that they've been in the works on for a long, long time, and it's gone through the pipeline with different iterations. So it's made, it's coming. I'm guessing a trailer is very soon because we have this poster. But Matilda Lutz is a fantastic actress. She's very talented. So
Mhm.
that catches my eye. You get somebody like that in there.
Hey, listen. Anything that involves like badass, like female warriors, and like we just mentioned, Barbarella.
Right.
Space. You know, traveling off to space. Red Sonja. Yeah, I'm game. I mean, we have badass men out there and doing their stuff. Why can't we have badass women doing their stuff? And you know, so like I said, I Red Sonja with Bridget Nielsen was pretty bad. So anything's gonna be better than that.
Okay. So you try to make me watch a bad movie. Yet again, what is not gonna happen on the show? Gabe tries to make me watch a bad movie. Again. Um, let's move on to the next one, and this one's pretty cool. I think I'm down with this. This is a new Apple original. Gabe's not gonna watch it, but it's from
Nope.
Skydance. They have a contract with Apple, so that's why this is going there. And to Anya
Damn it.
Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller, and an upcoming action film. Uh, was that Gorge? George? Is it what? What is it? Gorge. I'm gonna go with Gorge. I think it's Gorge. But there's no plot details at the moment. It's going to be an action-packed love story. Scott Derrickson's directing it. They've been working on that. Him and his writing partner have been teasing this for a while. That's a fantastic cast. That's
Damn,
two
what a
names right now that are really popular.
damn, what a cutie that was.
You talking about Miles Teller?
I'm talking about Miles
My
Teller.
Tell?
Look at that. Look at that
I,
jaw. Look at that jawline. That Miles Teller jawline is strong.
he's a perfect specimen for sure. He really is. Um,
No, but you know what? Go ahead with
oh
Bernie's
yeah, let's do
comment.
Bernie's comment. Megan looks sick. The lady that played in Get Out is like the maker. Hey, this trailer looked like what could be a good time. I think it does look like a good time,
Yeah,
man.
Allison Williams, who's the daughter of that newscaster, Brian Williams, is it? Yeah, Brian Williams' daughter.
Right. She was in Get Out and
Peter
Girls.
Pan.
She was in Peter Pan.
She was in that live adaptation of Peter Pan on NBC a couple years back when they did
So
like this.
something that maybe you have only seen.
Apparently, somebody else saw Peter Pan live on NBC. Uh,
What do you think of this
um,
movie, man? What do you think of these two opposite each other in the movie?
I'm a huge advocate. I've been advocating for Miles Teller to do bigger and better roles, and it looks like his time is finally coming. And then Anya Taylor-Joy, she's just a joy to watch on the big screen. She knows she knows the nuances on how to be, a great actress, and I think she's well on her way. So to have them two, I think it's gonna be a really good time for this. They might convince me to get Apple TV just for this.
There you go. There you go. No more hatred on this Apple TV crap, all right?
Oh no, I'm gonna hit on Apple. Fuck Apple.
We got a couple of Apple stories to cover here. But no, I think this is a cool idea. I really like Scott Derrickson and what he did with the Black Phone and
Mhm.
stepping out of the horror genre once again, like he did with Doctor Strange, to do something different and a big action movie. I think it's something that he needs and wants to do. And with these streamers, sometimes you get more of a freedom. Sometimes they give you that money and let you go do your thing. It seems like that's what they're gonna do here. I don't know much about the film other than these two being in it, and I'm on board already. I like them. I like the work that they put in this year. I think it's very good. I think Miles Teller was on his way up. Whiplash kind of had a couple setbacks, and now he's back. Um,
He did.
and I think it's awesome. I think it's really cool that Top Gun really has made him a household name. So, speaking of Anya Taylor Joy, there's a little movie coming out that she was once billed to star in. She's no longer starring in this movie. Neither is Harry Styles, who would have been her co-star, and Harry is being replaced by Nicholas Holt.
The Beast.
Beast, yes, an X-Men. And Nicholas Holt has always been up for roles. He was up for the Batman. He lost to Robert Pattinson. So it's really cool to see him finally. Now he's on the other end of that. He's replacing somebody. I think he's a great actor. I really like him in a lot of the period pieces he's done as well. So count me on board for this. I think they're rounding out a really talented cast for Nosferatu. And I think before the story was, oh no, they don't have Anya Taylor Joy. And hey, man, I think they're making all the right changes. Like they couldn't get her in. They got really Lily Rose Depp. They got Bill Skarsgård, and now they have Nicholas Holt. And I think it's going to be really cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean it's a really good cast, and I mean, and you have Eggers directing them, so I mean they already are very talented. So I don't see this movie as a step back. You know, like you said, no Anna Taylor Joy, that's fine. No Harry Styles, that's fine. So I just think that you move forward with this cast, and it's a great rounded out cast.
Yeah, I think the biggest sell and the biggest draw is, I mean, it's Robert Eggers. We saw The Northman, and it was a great piece of directing and cinematography and acting. It's one of the best movies of the year, and it was successful. It became a successful property on Peacock. So they're going to let him do whatever he wants. He wants to do Nosferatu. He's been talking about it forever. It's happening, and now we're getting it. And I like where they're going with it. And it's
Yeah,
going to be one of my most anticipated movies that's coming up for
and
sure.
bring back the vampires. Hell yeah.
Bring back the vampires. I agree. All right, here's one that's for Gabe.
This is for me. This one's for me.
This is Transformers: Rise of the Beast. I've heard very good things about this movie. By the way, there's been a ton of test screenings. They've been working on it for a while. It's set in the 90s. It's going to be a love letter to 90s action movies. I know Bumblebee is one that Gabe really likes. Michelle Yeoh and Pete Davidson have just signed on to lend their voices to the film. This was revealed by Stephen Cables Jr., who directed Creed 2. Really solid director. And it's really cool that he's getting something like this because he did great with Creed 2. And
Right.
this is going to be a soft reboot of the Michael Bay Transformers series. So it's going to be a soft reboot. It also stars Anthony Ramos from In the Heights, and he's awesome. He's a really good actor. So what do you think about this, Gabe? Are you excited for this new Transformers? Because I've heard really good things.
Listen, I'll caveat this to the people watching us and everything is I am a huge Transformers fan since I've been a kid. Cartoon shows, I cried when Optimus Prime dies in the Transformers movie. Don't laugh. I cried. It's all right. Optimus Prime dies. It happens. Um, they, I watched everything about all the way up to I saw Beast Wars, and then I sort of grew out of my Transformers phase. And then when they did the live action movies, I got me right back into it. Where I'm still not watching the new like Rise of Cybertron stuff. Anyways, I'm excited for this. I love the Beast Wars. I love it that they're gonna do the Maximals, the Predacons, and the Terracons are all coming back. Just I'm excited for it. I'm on board. Like I said, I love all the Transformers live action stuff. So come at me if you will.
You
I
poor
know
soul.
for some people they're bad, but I love them all. And Bumblebee was one of the better ones in the franchise. So yes,
Um, again, I know next to nothing about Transformers. I really like the first one. Well, I like the animated one too. I saw that a while back and actually enjoyed it. But the first Michael Bay one, I enjoyed. Bumblebee, I still haven't gotten around to. Gabe's been telling me to watch Bumblebee for a
I've
while.
been telling you to watch
I got
Bumblebee for a while.
everybody I know really likes it, and I got to check it out. I really do. But I fell off after three, and I haven't watched any of the other sequels since. But I'm intrigued by this. I think I got to catch up on Bumblebee, and but I'm intrigued just based off of the director and the cast, and even the vocal talents. I mean, Pete Davidson's got a unique voice. Michelle Yeoh is very popular right now because of Everything Everywhere All at Once and
Right.
Star Trek. So I think this can be really cool. And this is a movie I'm interested to see how it does because, again, I've heard great things from screenings that they have taken place. So
Yeah.
that is
And
Transformers.
to see Grimlock come back, I mean, just like you saw when Optimus Prime's comes in riding Grimlock, like, dude, that gave me chills. Anyways, I could talk about Transformers all night long. You don't want to hear me talk about them.
No, but I want to hear you talk about another Apple product, another Apple TV movie. We talked about this a while back.
Yay.
This is Spirited, and it is going to be with Will Ferrell and Ryan Gosling, and it's pretty much a take on A Christmas Carol.
Ryan
It-
Gosling, not
oh,
Ryan
Ryan Reynolds.
Reynolds.
God, listen, man, there's too many Ryans in the world. Too many Ryans out there. Uh, I would have corrected myself. I would have figured it out. Anyway, this is the trailer. I watched it. Gabe, did you watch the trailer?
No, I didn't.
Why? Why? See, you get the show notes days before. You got the show
You're
note
right. You're
yesterday.
right. You're right. I get the show
But
notes.
he's gonna give his opinion about Apple TV, even though he has not watched this trailer.
No, I have not watched the trailer, but listen, I don't need to watch this specific trailer to
Why is
know,
that?
because then I'm gonna watch it, dude. You got Will Ferrell, you have Ryan Reynolds. It's gonna be good.
I will say this. I don't think it's like the most original idea. We've seen this before, Scrooged, Christmas Carol,
Right,
It's a Wonderful Life. Like there's always a different spin on this kind of thing. But what I will say is they look like they have great chemistry. I like the cast. And it seems like a good
right.
Thanksgiving sit. After you have a big meal, you throw this on.
Listen, you know me though, bro, man. You know that I'm a sucker for Christmas movies. It doesn't matter if they're on go straight to
It's
streaming
true.
or whatever. I'm a sucker for Christmas movies, and there's not a Christmas movie that I say that I dislike. A Christmas Story, yeah, I said that. But other than that, like I really do enjoy Christmas movies a lot.
You know what I
So
will say real quick? The Christmas Story is one that's become hated within the past, like I want to say 15 years. Like it was
it's
clearly
overrated.
loved. It was loved. That's why it played so much on cable. But I think now it's to the point where everybody who watches it on cable is like, all right, stop playing it. Please stop fucking playing it. Because it plays for like 10-hour blocks on TNT.
Listen, there's a couple of movies that I feel like are overrated, and I say that I know saying overrated is overrated at this point, but like A Christmas Story and It's a Wonderful Life, can't stand those two. I don't even want to bother with them.
You're a hater. But no, I think honestly for the trailer, it looks fun enough. I liked Office Christmas Party. I like Christmas movies and Christmas comedies.
Right.
I have a soft spot, like you, for them. They're a great sit
And then
during the
Will
holiday
Ferrell
season.
singing, and then you get the ruggedly good looks of Ryan Reynolds. Which
Yeah, man.
I was. Can I just publicly announce that I am sorry for before this iteration of the show or of the show started. You and I used to have this conversation about Ryan Reynolds, and I said how much I disliked him. I'm gonna take that back, and I'll eat crow because Ryan Reynolds has like shown me a different side that I didn't know he
Wait,
had.
when? He's played the same character in every movie.
I don't know. I really disliked him because I felt like he wasn't like an A-list like leading man type. But then I was wrong. I was wrong.
In other words, Gabe is looking forward to Red Notice 2 and Red Notice 3 with The Rock. He'll be there day one. Let's move on to the next one. And this is the big one. This is the one that I wanted to lead the show with, but we pushed it to a little bit later. And a lot of shifts are happening at Marvel, man. We've been talking about Blade's been in trouble for some time. It's been into production troubles. Kevin Feige feels like he's stretched too thin. He can't be everywhere all at once and shepherding all these projects between TV and film. And Mahershala Ali is kind of pissed about it too. And they're in search of a new director right now, following the former director's departure. And it's now set to open in 2024. It's taking Deadpool 3's spot. Uh, it was originally set for November 2023 of the fall of next year. It's no longer happening, and there's other changes. Deadpool 3 is now moving to November 8th, 2024. Fantastic Four is now moving to 2025, and previous set for November 7th, 2025 was Secret Wars. That's moving to 2026. So a lot of changes happened. They shifted things around. What do you think about this, man? I think it's right that they get Blade the correct way. They also said that they're taking time to rewrite the script. They're doing a page one rewrite. So they shut down production in Atlanta, which it was set to roll cameras like next month. It's not happening. They're waiting. They're doing a page one rewrite. A couple things I take away from this is the cast sticking? Are they keeping the cast? Like Delroy Lindo, and there's another name that was attached to this. Are all those guys sticking around? And who the hell is directing this? Because right now they're like in the final hour. They need somebody to make this movie. And I know they're doing the page one rewrite, but who the hell directs this thing? What do you think about all of this?
I think it's the right call. You have your leading actor Mahershala that's not happy. He's the one that wanted to do Blade. You have to keep your leading guy, happy. If Delroy or Delnoy doesn't want to be in it, that's fine. You could probably cast another guy to probably play his mentor. He's probably taking, on the role from the other dude with the voice. I forget his name. Wasn't the original Blade
Oh,
Whistler?
Chris Christopherson. Yeah.
Christopherson, yeah. But you have to keep Mahershala happy. And I know that he wasn't happy with the script. I think you mentioned a couple weeks ago that it was just like one fighting scene in like the 90 pages of script that they had, the one
Right.
choreographed, fighting scene.
From what I heard
Listen,
from insider was that a credible insider too. I'm not talking about some random Reddit site. I'm talking about somebody that's in the industry. Wrote on Twitter and on their blog that the script was only 90 pages and Blade played secondary. Like he pretty much played second fiddle, and Mahershala Ali did not like that, and that was something that was a no go, and that's where a lot of the issues started. But go ahead, Gabe.
well, here's the thing, right? And Blade for like, I'm going to talk for myself, right? But Blade, the original Blade, the bar that Wesley Snipes set for Blade is by far like top notch, right? And Blade for a while was every minority's like favorite comic book thing, right? Because he was black, right? He was African American. So every single African American thought, every Mexican, everybody thought Blade was, just the bee's knees, right? And so there's a standard set. And if you're not gonna meet that standard that Wesley Snipes set as Blade, if you're not gonna meet it or exceed it, that there is no point in rebooting this. And I think Mahershala knows that. Mahershala knows growing up, watching Blade, watching Wesley, that he wasn't gonna reach that level. So that's why he was disgusted or mad or whatever. And you're not gonna have him be playing second fiddle to his own titled movie. Like why? Like who else would
And
you? Who else are you gonna do? Like who's the first fiddle? What the hell?
and this was his idea. I want to make that clear. Also, I want to reference the chat. We got some new people in here. Jizz Lover. What's up, guys? I love. I just wanted to say the name. Uh, Good real. What's up, man? What's up, Brett? Jojo, how's it going, man? Love seeing you in here.
Hola.
And Fabian, how name a movie Blade and have the main character. Well, that's the thing. Kevin Feige knew that Mahershala was not happy, and now he's directly involved in the script writing for this. Like Mahershala is right there in the script writing process, and that is a major deal because they want to get this character right. They got the rights back to him. They want to make sure it's done the right way. Those first two movies aren't just loved by comic book fans; they're loved by film fans. Film fans love Blade One and Blade Two. Roger Ebert was a big fan of those movies. He loved those movies. I mean, let's not forget, Guillermo del Toro directed that second film, and it is awesome. It has one of the
Right.
greatest scenes in a comic book movie ever. So, like,
Right.
you need to nail this.
You do, and then you have the awesome, amazing fight sequences in the in the first two, and so you have to like again, you have to reach that level that was set in those first two Blade films and exceed it, especially with newer technology, newer everything is newer, right? Everything's like 20, 15 years, into the future where newer stuff is happening. You have to reach those levels and exceed it, and if it's not there, if it's not up to snuff, you have to sit back and just redo everything like they're doing and just reset everything back up.
And this is the best course of action, man, because you look at what happened with Doctor Strange, and they clearly ran into an issue where they're like, we don't know what we're doing. And it was a last second decision. Kevin Feige, his back was against the wall. He's like, I'm going to get Sam Raimi, and Sam Raimi's going to come in and do this thing. Sam
They
Raimi
should
comes
go
in.
back to the Guillermo. Be like, hey, yo, Guillermo, you interested in redoing, Blade?
I don't see why not. Guillermo loved doing Blade. He really did. But I think the thing that Marvel, what's going on right now is you could get Sam Raimi to play in that sandbox and he'll deliver a good movie. Guillermo likes to do his own thing. He wants to do his own thing. I don't know if you could get him in here to really complete his vision the way he wants to do it. And who knows?
No,
Maybe, who knows?
I think that most of the directors that they have or that they want, they have to play by the Disney Marvel rules, and I don't think
In
Guillermo is one
some
of those.
capacity, they need to play ball. It's like
Yeah,
here's the parameters. You could do whatever you want inside of it, but you need to color within the lines. Like that's
right.
really it. We have something set for you. Just make sure you deliver that, and you could anything else you could do. So
I also
it'll be
think
interesting.
I also think Mahershala thought that this movie was gonna be rated R, just like I thought we were promised. So
I honestly I'd agree with you. I think he thinks this is going to be like Blade, and maybe that's what we're going to get now. Maybe they're going to do something that's going to
right,
be more akin to the first three movies. We'll see. But we also had other release dates change. Nothing really that. Listen, Deadpool moved 2 months. That's it. But like
yeah,
it's still coming out. You're gonna see it in 2 years. Everybody's still gonna lose their mind. Fantastic Four only moved a couple months, so
they
not
all
that
moved a
much of
couple
a.
months.
That's it. Like let's see, Secret Wars. I mean, yeah, Secret Wars moved to the next year, but again, that gives them more time with Secret Wars. You did not need two Avengers movies in the same year. That's insane. That's
That's what you think.
completely that's insane. What Fantastic Four, which people are waiting for. There's people that are waiting for that movie, and you're gonna have the Kang Dynasty already. Like you can move it back, give it some breathing room. And I think that's where they're running into issues is that they're congesting everything all together. These TV shows and these movies, and there's even some untitled ones that are supposed to come out in 2025 as well. I'm pretty sure one of them is going to be Armored Wars, but there's no confirmation yet. We
God
need
damn,
time.
like I don't get how you could like try to set all these things up and for like years and like 5 years from half a decade from now. Shit, like I don't even know what I'm gonna do tomorrow yet. You're gonna like they're like setting things up for like 5, 6 years from now.
Well, it's true, and I know Kevin for the first 10 years he had a 10-year Bible for what they were going to accomplish and what they were going to do, and he's done it. And like I said, man, I think it's good to have that balance, and I think what they're doing now is taking a breather and
Uh,
realizing they need to get all this. They need to get all this shit right because
But
there is
I do
definitely.
It
Go ahead.
reminds me of that scene in Big Daddy when she's like, well, he has a 5 year plan. He's like, what? Not die? Like that's my fucking plan in like 5 years. That's like my only plan that I plan ahead in 5 years is not to die.
It's fair. But anyway, that's the Marvel stuff. I seen some people had some opinions. Fabian agreed. You gotta do Blade right. Bernie agrees. You gotta do it right. Uh, I agree. I want to see Blade done right. I want to see the Fantastic Four done right. So, and hopefully we're not fatigued by all these Marvel things by then.
Never. We
Anyway, I
talk
want
about being fatigued.
to we talk about it, then we go see the next product. We consume. Okay, so the rumor mill's back, and here's the topic, man. Do we think Henry Cavill's back in Black Adam? The Rock has been teasing this every single fucking day. It feels like. I think he's back. What do you think this? If he's back in this movie, I've heard also. I heard Black Adam's like great. Reactions came out today from critics, and I've heard glowing things across the board. Which is I wasn't really expecting that. I thought maybe I'd hear middle of the road things, but I've heard really good things. And a lot of people were saying it's a bright future for what's to come. I'm guessing that's hinting at something. But if Henry Cavill's back, Gabe, do you want to see him back in this universe? And do you think we get another Superman movie?
Well, since we are in the rumor mill, I did see some things up there that said that he is coming back for the a sequel.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Um, like I don't mind the first Superman, and I don't mind Henry Cavill, but if they're doing away with the Snyderverse, why just not get a new Superman? Why not just get somebody else to take on the the red Teddy Reds? You know, there's no need to keep on harking on Henry. Like let him go, let him be, let him have his moments. Let Justice League be his swan song, and just move on with a different Superman. Like again, I don't know why The Rock is also trying to push this whole Snyderverse thing. And it's just let it be. Let it die off. Let it run right off into the sunset.
Well, it's weird because I don't think they've never had a plan. Let's get one thing straight. DC, Warner, that division, they've never had a plan. They've gone through so many different leaders that have switched up, and none of them had a plan for what this universe was. The past guy, I forget his name. He really said, "Hey, let's lose the Snyder bullshit. We're pushing through with creator-driven projects like the Batman and Joker, Batgirl. Like this is the stuff that we're gonna do." Obviously Warner has gone through a lot of changes, and David Zaslav is in that chair, and he's calling the shots, and
Right.
he's trying to get ahead of DC Film Division, which I don't even think they have yet. And he wants the old Snyderverse model. He wants Cavill. He wants they talked about incorporating Ben Affleck in some way.
I
So
hope
I
so.
don't think I don't know what they're doing. I don't think we need all these different Batman. I love Batman. I don't think we need three different Batman. I don't think we need Henry Cavill back as Superman. I don't know. Like it's weird though, right? Because they're rebooting some things and they're changing others. So they want to keep Wonder Woman. They want to keep Aquaman. They want to keep the Flash, but they don't want to do a Justice League movie.
Listen, there's a
So
couple
what do you
people
do?
that I don't know. There's a couple people that I would change out. Henry Cavill, um, as talented as he is, he's just a head case. Ezra Miller would need to be changed out, in my opinion. Um, I would keep Wonder Woman. I would keep Aquaman, and you know me, I love Batfleck and keep Batfleck. But I think Superman and Flash would need to get new actors for him. Bring back.
And that's
I
where I'm
always
like,
say this. Bring back Gustin from the Flash TV show. Put him up as a
the
movie
TV
Flash.
show.
Like, why not?
I think people would be open to that. My main issue is they tried to push this universe and it failed. So now we have the scraps of
It
the
did.
universe all around in different sections. And I'm not sure if audiences really, I mean, one, I don't think audiences really care about that. But I just think it comes off as incoherent when you have a Batman that worked. It made a ton of money and you're making a sequel to it. You're making a show that's a spin-off to it. Multiple shows. You know that's working and you know that's going to work. What do you even do with Ben Affleck Batman? Because he's after the Flash, he's not going to be really in this universe. So why even put him in there? Why is he
Um,
cameoing in Aquaman 2? All these
listen,
things are just little bits of fan service. But ask yourself one question: do you honestly think, because of how poorly that character did, and again, Batman versus Superman lost a ton of money for the studio, and Justice League lost even more money for the studio. Why would they want to do this? Why would they want to push these versions of the characters that just weren't
because
successful?
everybody knows that DC is a shit show. DC is a
And plus,
shit
only
show.
like a small minority, a vocal minority, like this iteration of the characters that are around. I think most people that want to go see those movies just didn't have any interest in what they did. That's really it.
Listen, DC has this thing about multiverses without ever discussing their multiverses, or maybe they did. I don't know. But it's the same reason, the same thing why I have an issue with them doing this Joker musical. It's like, okay, how many versions of the Joker do you need?
Well, you just don't like
How?
musicals.
No, listen. I just don't like. It's the same thing with like Marvel. I just don't like that they fixated on one villain in the DC universe, and that's the Joker, and it's always the Joker this, the Joker that. It's like DC has more to give. As a comic book fan, right? DC has more characters than Batman and Joker and Superman. I'm sorry, I'm just tired of seeing those three for DC. Every time DC comes out with a new movie, it's one of those three. And no, I'm tired of it.
Well,
I'm tired of the Joker.
the
I'm tired
problem
of Batman. I know you fucking love the Robert Pattinson Batman, and I do too. It's a great movie. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just
the
tired of
problem
hearing about Batman and Superman.
the problem is with DC, what they found themselves in is that they're run by Warner Brothers, and the mishandling of DC Comics goes back decades with Warner Brothers and those characters. They've had so many chances to make so many different iterations of so many different characters since the '90s, and they have not done that. And they've always pulled the plug because some old guy in the room goes, I don't understand this. Let's not do it." Marvel got lucky because Kevin Feige studied with Richard Donner, and Richard Donner made Superman. And Kevin Feige knew this guy really nailed that formula. He understood what makes it a good comic book movie. So when Kevin Feige got involved with Marvel, he studied under one of the greats. So he had a Bible, he had a plan, and what to do with these characters, and he understood that no, we can make audiences love all of these characters, this entire universe, and that's what he did. There's nobody at DC that ever thought of that, and there's nobody in charge that maybe at one point they had Jeff Johns, but he didn't do anything. Like he didn't really do anything when they had him in charge of what this would look like. And same thing with Zack Snyder. What was Zack Snyder's big plan? I don't know. Batman versus Superman. That was it, and it was rushed out. The idea was completely rushed. Even if that movie came out 3 years later, it was a rush job of an idea. They should have just done a Man of Steel 2 right from the get go. And making Batman so old, I think, really was a disservice in hindsight. I know a lot of people like it because it's the Dark Knight Returns Batman, him being old. Didn't work. It didn't work, and I think we're seeing the after effects of that now. But man, get back to Black Adam. In the movie, I think cool little nod of fan service. I don't know what it means for anything else, but I've heard really good things about Black Adam. So I'm gonna be there and see it. We'll see if I like it. I don't know. Are you seeing it next week?
Oh, that's next week already?
That's next week. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm going to see it. I mean, I say that
I'm gonna check it out.
I'm going to check it out. It's The Rock. I mean, we thought it was going to be formulaic, but we'll see how really it is. And goddamn, like I hope this just shuts up The Rock on social media for a while about Black Adam. It's been hearing nothing but Black Adam for like it feels like the past 15 years. He's been talking about Black Adam for like 15
Pretty sure it
years.
has been the past 15 years.
You
I
know?
again, I'm not the. I never gave a shit about this character in the comic books. Like, he was just a dude that popped up every so often in a Shazam book. That was really it. I never really gave a shit about that character. I don't know why The Rock was so fixated on that for so long. I'm happy he got it made. I hope it's good. I hope I enjoy it. I've heard good things. If Henry Cavill is in it, cool. I don't know what it means for the universe. I don't know if it means Man of Steel 2, but I'm kind of with you. I feel like we should just move on, get a new Superman, and bury the past already. We tried
Yeah.
something, it didn't work. Let's move on. But man, let's jump into one more thing. and that's the opening weekend box office. And that's gonna be Halloween Ends coming out this weekend. This is a controversial movie
Ooh,
already, right? Like
controversial.
it's been controversial since I want to say Halloween 2018 happened. Because Halloween
Aren't all
2018,
Halloweens
I
controversial?
feel like, dude, this is a new thing though. It started with 2018 because people hyped it into something that it was never going to be. They hyped that movie into something it was never going to be. They were not promised the greatest horror movie of all time, but in their head, that's what they thought they were getting. And then they were mad when they got a completely serviceable, albeit well-made film. Uh, and then kills happened, and they got hyped again. And then again, marketing and Jamie Lee and all these people telling you the greatest slasher. It's this, it's that. They're just it's all part of the marketing machine. That's what actors do. They got mad because the movie was silly, even though it is like gory and delivers all the things that you want it to do. It's a very silly movie, and it does a lot of silly things. This movie is a kind of a different beast. A lot of people are carrying that baggage still. I'm talking about fans too, not general audiences, because general audiences like these movies. They're showing up, they're making them successful, and the audience scores are pretty good. And the critics like that first one. But with Ends, the marketing has been strange. I've commented on this. I have not liked the marketing. I think it's weird that they're hiding the movie. They haven't been showing anything. Critics have seen it. Some reviews are popping up, some reactions are popping up. And
Mm.
if you believe the internet, it's either the greatest movie of all time or the worst movie ever made. I can't tell you anything other than that until tomorrow when I see it. That's really it. I don't really have much of expectations other than, I mean, I do like from what I'm hearing that this movie is weird. That's the one thing from what I know and from what people said is that it's a weird ass movie. It is not a regular slasher movie. I'll check it out and see, what we're dealing with. But you're not a big fan of these Halloweens. You've liked the new ones for the most part. But going into this one, what do you think? Do you think we're dealing with something that's as bad as some of these fans are saying? Or I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to be that. Honestly, like I haven't thought any of these have been really bad. Like
I haven't thought
I don't.
there's been any bad. I mean, I'm not the big I'm not the biggest Halloween guy to begin with. It's not my favorite franchise. So when I go into these movies, I go into them to see kills. Basically, it's a slasher movie. Like, do you really expect to have some freaking Oscar-worthy plot points? Like really? Like, do you
Right.
really expect to have like some sort of amazing writing and a beautiful written out first act and then a fucking amazing climax and a wonderful resolution? Like, no, it's a slasher movie about a mute, you know, mentally disabled man that kills. Like, what are you looking for in these Halloween movies? Like legitly,
Makes it
what are
sound
you looking?
sad. When you put it like that, when you put it that way, it makes it sound all sad. This
Like,
mute,
but
mentally
realistically,
disabled.
like really, like what are people looking at these Halloween movies? So when I go in, I'm like, all right, I just want to see somebody get their shit fucked up, some great inventive, murders, some good ass kills, and that's it. If you give me that in a Halloween movie, in a Friday the 13th movie, I am gonna be all for it. But Halloween fans are a different breed of characters. Like, they really think that Halloween is like the be all, that the end all be all of all slasher movies and all this and that, and they like hold Halloween in such a high pedestal that if nothing comes close to like 1978, everything is fucking shit. And then you have the other people that are just your regular fans of it, like me, that's just like, well, 1978 wasn't that good. These other Halloweens are better
No,
than
no, no. Hold on,
1978.
no, hold on. The other regular casual fans do not agree with that. Gabe just spoke for everybody. They do not agree with that. He agrees with that because he's a contrarian. He does this shit. He wants to be a contrarian. He wants to say something is bad when the hype is there. He wants to say something is good when it's getting hated on. Gabe does this, and I'm gonna call
I
him out on
don't do that.
it. You do. You do this. This is something that you do.
What I'm
Okay.
just saying though is listen, I had tickets for tomorrow, but I'm not gonna go tomorrow probably because of either work and the Bears are playing on Thursday night football at 7 o'clock.
This is the same man that
So
paid to see Amsterdam. He was the only one in this theater.
I was you. It was about Monday morning at 10:30. I was the only one in the theater for that. No, but so I might go Friday. Just depends on work. Depends on if I get off too late to go see it, then I'm gonna see the Bears. If I get off in time, I'll go see the movie. But I'm still excited and I'm still hyped for it. I mean, like I said, it's why hate it? You know, I don't
Well,
know. I don't understand.
the unknown intrigues me. I haven't loved the trailers, but I don't think this movie looks bad. These are all directed by the same person. They're all written by the same people. Even the cinematography, it's the same guy that shot
Right.
all three movies.
I've
So
avoided it. I've avoided the trailers. I've avoided pretty much everything to deal with this movie, and it's not that I don't want any spoilers or anything. It's just like I said, I'm on the end of Halloween. I'm the opposite end of the Halloween fandom. I'm just like I'm gonna go see it regardless. I don't need to
right,
like
you're just
sit
not
down
like
and
you're not reading every single thing. You're not obsessed with it,
I'm not
which is
obsessed with Halloween. I'm not going over every minute detail about it.
right. That's something that I feel like that's gonna really make or break the movie in the eyes of a fan. I, I think when I'm speaking for the general audience, I'm talking like a lot of people, like my cousin or my mom. They're excited that a new Halloween movie's out. They're gonna go see it. That's it. That's all it's gonna be for them. It's just this new thing. Jamie Lee Curtis is back. They like her. It's gonna be a successful
Like
movie. Either way, because they make
my
these movies for like nothing. They make them for like $2 and some change.
right,
I
my sister too. My sister's hyped and she hates horror movies. And
like
she's like,
yeah,
"Oh, Michael
that's a
Myers!
good example.
Like, oh,
It's a good
Michael
example.
Myers is coming out. We're gonna go see Michael Myers. Michael Myers." She doesn't even say Halloween. She calls them the Michael Myers movies. Like, "Hey, are we gonna go see Michael Myers? Are we gonna go see Michael Myers?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna go see Michael Myers."
I the I haven't again. The reviews are out tomorrow. By the time they come out, I'll have seen the movie. I'm pretty sure we're seeing the as soon as we get there, we're seeing a showing. So I'm still excited to see what this thing is. I think I'm more excited now that I've heard it's really weird movie, and I'd
I
rather
like
them take
weird.
a swing. I like weird. I'd rather them take a swing than to just do the same thing. We'll see if it pays off.
Swing
I
for the
might come out of
fences.
it and tell you it sucks and it's terrible. Or I might not say it wasn't that bad. It was fine. And
You
I
know
feel
what
like
we
I'm gonna
should
fall
do?
into that camp or it was decent.
When you come back from Los Angeles, we should do like a all spoiler Halloween thing, and we'll take people's calls. We'll take people's calls. We'll give out your cell phone number or my cell phone number, and we'll
Well,
take people's calls.
there's an app on here where you could take viewer calls, and maybe we'll try it out. I don't know if you'll be able to hear them, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to hear them. So I will test that out. I'll figure out what that software is, and Sunday night we can do that stream.
We could do it
Come
Sunday
back
night
Sunday.
because the Bears aren't playing. They're on Thursday
Perfect.
night football.
So people that see this movie, get some questions ready, and come back in here, and we will take calls, and we will talk all spoilers for Halloween Ends. That's it. That's all I got today, man. I mean, is there anything else you want to touch on before we go?
No, no, I'm just gonna ask the people, ask our viewing public, to keep an open mind about Halloween. Make sure don't go in there and just hate watch it and hate everything about it. Just keep an open mind about it. If it's weird, it's weird. If it's not the greatest Halloween, guess what? You have 4, 5, and 6 that are still pretty bad. So it's not like it's anything out of the ordinary
You
for
have
the
like
franchise.
you have like 12 other movies to watch if good anyway. So it's like
Right.
it's not like it's gonna be the worst thing ever for you. Like there's like 13 movies in this franchise. But no, that's all I got, man. Real quick, I want to talk about my favorite horror movie that is next week. It is with Chad, uh, and he is from My Special Boy, and he's gonna be talking a bit about that one and then his horror pick as well. We'll have more details coming soon over the weekend. I'll post all of that info. And then that's about it. We're gonna try to do a spoiler stream Sunday, and then I'll start planning out the next few videos. I know things have been a little weird this week, but there hasn't been much going on news wise. Just this Halloween movie. That's really it. But Gabe, I'll pass it to you. Anything else you want to touch on before we go?
No, just you guys have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll see you Sunday night for the Halloween spoiler call-in show.
Yes. Join us Sunday night. We're going to do a spoiler call in show. We're going to talk the entire movie. We're going to go into detail, all those sorts of things. stuff. Anyway, for those that did watch today, we know it was different, and if you stuck around, thanks for watching. This was a really fun time, and we will see
Great.
you next time on the Tuesday Show.